Hey guys, today I'm going to be sharing with you my homemade baby food recipe. I have tried so many different things over the last several months or so to get a perfect consistency and perfect baby food. So I just wanted to share those tips with you guys in case you are looking to make some great homemade baby food. Let's just go ahead and get started. Into a saucepan here, I have some water. You're going to use like distilled water, purified water, whatever kind of water that you would normally use for your baby food. We're going to go ahead and fill that up. And here I have some brown jasmine rice that I have washed really well, and I'm just going to add that in. You can use any kind of rice that you would normally use. My little one loves jasmine rice, as well as I'm adding in some quick oats. You can use steel cut oats or old-fashioned rolled oats if you want. So I've added that into my water, and now I'm just going to go ahead and give this a gentle mix. And what we're looking for is for this to cook down on about medium-low heat for maybe about 20-30 minutes or so. You do want to check on it every few minutes because it can bubble over and make a complete mess. But we want to cook this rice and oats down. What I'm going to do is I'm also going to add in some beets. I have 2 small beets that I have cut up. I'm going to add that in to my rice and oats. We're going to go ahead and cover this lightly. I'm not going to completely cover my pot because, again, it will bubble up and make a huge complete mess. So I'm just going to lightly cover it, and we're going to let this cook for about 20 to 30 minutes. So we've added in our water, our rice, our oats, and our beets. We're going to let this cook for about 20 to 30 minutes just so it becomes complete and total mush. Essentially, that's what we're looking for. So we're just going to let it cook down. Now, you can do this with stage 1 and stage 2 foods as well. I will try and have everything written down below for you to help you out. But if you are doing this with just stage 1, just think about it like this. Stage 1, one food. One type of food per week pretty much. So just an apple or a pear or something along those lines, a sweet potato maybe, and you just add the water and that one particular food. Stage 2, you can just mix up once you know what your baby can handle. You can add 2 or 3 depending, and then with stage 3 I'm adding lots of starches, the rice, the oats, the beets. We're also going to be adding in some apples as well. So after about 20 to 30 minutes this has boiled down and it's thickened up, and we want again this to be completely cooked through the beets, the rice and the oats to become very mushy. We're going to add in some apples. Depending on the size of your apples, I'm using about 4 small gala apples in this recipe. I just use the same cutting board that I use for the beets. I have peeled my apples, washed and peeled them, and I'm going to cut them up into small pieces, mix them up, and just cook this for another 15 minutes or so until those apples are nice and tender. Check on this and give it a stir every 10 minutes or so. If you find that you need a little bit extra water, just go ahead and add a little bit extra. You don't want too much because we do want this to be a baby food, not really a drink. So just mix it up. After 15-20 minutes, it's very thick. There's still a good amount of liquid in there because this will be blended. We're going to turn off the heat, and then we're going to add in our strawberries. You can use frozen strawberries, fresh strawberries, strawberries that you thawed out. I do it, whatever I have on hand is what I'm going to use. I'm adding in a good amount of strawberries, and I find that I don't want to I'm not trying to cook my strawberries. If I was to cook my strawberries, they lose its flavor, and that kind of loses that. My daughter loves strawberries. It's like a favorite thing. So I really want to maintain that strawberry flavor. So my heat is off. I've added in my strawberries and given it a nice toss. We're going to wait for this to completely cool before we add it into our blender. You don't really want to blend it up, especially if you have a plastic blender. I don't have a fancy schmancy blender or anything. I just have a plain regular old blender. Add in about a quarter or half of my mixture or so, and we're going to blend this up. Now after we've blended it up, another really important tip is to strain it. This is probably the most important part, especially if you're transitioning from stage 1 to stage 2 to stage 3. That consistency can completely throw your little one off, and I have found that straining it gives it that really, really smooth consistency that you would get if you were buying store-bought baby food. So even though it's organic baby food out there, you still don't know what you're really getting. So I'd rather make mine at home, and I really want that consistency. I know she likes it. She likes it nice and smooth. So I'm going to make sure and strain this to get rid of any extra seeds or anything that did not blend really well. As you transition on, you can add in a little bit of that leftover like pulp, I guess, with the seeds and everything, a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons, so they start getting used to the textures. As they get older, they will, have more. They will be more used to different textures, so it won't be, you may not need to discard of it. But after I've strained out all of those seeds and things, you can either 1, discard at this point, or 2, run it back through the blender, which is what I will be doing. And there you have it, your homemade baby food. Now this is a combination of rice, oats, beets, apples, and strawberries. The rice and the oats are going to help her stay a little bit more full a little bit longer. And everything in there. Now, I have found this to be the best way to make baby food. I have tried steaming, baking. I am talking about every single way I've tried. This is the best way, and at this age, the main source of nutrition is really from milk, their breast milk or their formula. So this is just something to get them used to food. I am going to store this in freezer-safe containers once it's completely and thoroughly cooled, which you should be by now if you waited before you blended. And you're going to store this, and this should be about a month, 2 to 3 weeks, or a month worth of baby food. All the amounts listed below of how much I used, and remember, you can alter this to your liking and to what your baby likes. This is what I found that she likes the best. The flavor combination is really just great, and you can use this for toddlers as well. Store in those little sippy pouches, and you're good to go. I will have everything listed below, including thawing instructions, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.